Right, it's 6:30. I would like to call this to order, this meeting of the Finance Committee for Thursday, March 21st, 2024, in the Wacoit Meeting Room. First order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, if we can have a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in service to our community. Thank you. Anyone here for public comment? Seeing none, the chair will now entertain a motion to approve the Finance Committee meeting minutes for Thursday, March 14th, 2024, in open session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion regarding those minutes? Seeing none, any opposition to approving the minutes of Thursday, March 24th, 2024?
Mr. Chairman, I have to abstain.
Okay, we have one abstention. Then we will take a vote. Glenn?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. That will be 5-0 with one abstention. Thank you very much. All right, that moves on. Nothing for appointments and hearings. No one from the select board here, no one from the school committee here. That will bring us into, Mr. Collins, you have some information for us regarding some of the articles we have on hold.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members. You should have backup information relative to the special town meeting warrant, Article 6. And on that specific information, thank you. On that specific information, there should be an explanation relative to changing the 4.5 million from 7.5 because the other 3 million was funded with free cash. So the idea is to still rescind the borrowing. It's just in the amount of 4.5 versus 7.5. You authorize 7.5, but there was a certain amount coming out of free cash.
Right.
So the intent is not really changing. Are there any questions on that?
The bottom line is, we didn't have to borrow anything for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is before you is because I don't want to cause any confusion
Right.
as we move forward. I don't want people to think that we've borrowed this in addition to whatever's being asked for in May.
No, no.
So by you rescinding this, it eliminates that authorization. And I recommend that you rescind.
Yeah. So the only thing we've got to do is, we voted to recommend it at the 7.5. We've got to re-vote to rescind it at the 4.5 level.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
On Article 10, which is the CPC article, there is no number. I don't have a number. And we've checked with council, and it is okay to leave that number blank in anticipation of that number being provided at town meeting. I know that they're in negotiations, but again, I don't have a number for you. It's obviously up to you in terms of whether you like not having a number. I know that typically you want to have a number. I think it's fair to say a number helps, but I can't pull magic out of my hat. I don't have a number to give you. I know that disappoints you, Greg,
It
but
does,
I
Greg.
don't have a
That's
number.
okay.
What about a range?
Range.
I don't have a range, and even if I did, I wouldn't disclose that only because I wouldn't want to compromise the town's position in negotiations. So that's all I can really say on that. Getting to the town meeting, or I should say annual town meeting,
Yeah.
I know that on Article 7, there was a little bit of confusion because it referred to Secaucus, and it should be Red Brook. That's why I was a little confused when I saw the language. It should say Red Brook. That I'm familiar with. I wasn't familiar with Secaucus.
All right.
And the DNR director is available to elaborate on that. But before I turn to her, I just want to continue here and say on Article 8 of the annual town meeting, you should have a memo from the finance director. The last time I was here, I specifically referred to it being like a processing fee. It's like if you were closing on a mortgage, it's like the regular fees that you would pay at closing. But there should be an elaboration in a memo that you should all have.
Yes.
Hopefully that satisfies any questions that you have. On Article 9, I don't have any other additional information, Mr. Chair, with the exception of the memo from Superintendent Sanborn, which should be in your package.
Yep.
And then on Article 32, which is in reference to the road taking Christopher Lane, that is all about timing. It was to get the road paved at the same time as sewer. So there was a timing issue there as it relates to Christopher Lane. And last but not least, there was Article 33. You should have the DPW director's memo. She expressed concern, with all due respect to the petitioned article, she expressed concern as to whether or not we have a firm grip on the number that it is going to potentially cost the town, because that area, as I understand it, is entirely in the floodplain. So I think the email or the memo should elaborate on that. She'd be here tonight herself, but she is on vacation and unavailable. If it's a petition article, it obviously goes to town meeting, but you still have the prerogative in terms of whether you recommend or not recommend.
Right.
And I think that covers it, but I do want to give the DNR director an opportunity to speak regarding Red Brook, because she was nice enough to come in.
Absolutely.
And I'll turn it over to her.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So this is in regards to the $130,000 that was remaining for the DNR building budget that will be used for yard and storage space, we're hoping. We currently are operating out of 31 Mercantile, where we do have shared parking and there is limited space for all of our equipment and vessels. We are utilizing a yard, or the old skateboard park, behind the police department. That space may not be available in the very near future, so I was working with the Department of Public Works Director, Catherine, who recommended that we go for yard space to store our vessels in the winter months and our shellfish gear. We have about 1,000 pieces of shellfish gear now that vary in size between 3x3 trays and 2x2 trays. And unfortunately, we can't stack them too high because they would be destroyed. The current space we're utilizing is around 10,000 square feet, but because it was an old skate park, part of that area is unusable. It was a ramp that was going up for some type of a drop-in, or I don't know, but we can't utilize that space for boat parking. We currently have 9 vessels. They're about 25 feet in average in size. And we do store them there for the winter and shrink wrapped. The shellfish division also has their gear there. And we've currently been using the PD and running power and water from their washdown station, which can become kind of a hassle for my staff. So we were running extension cords to the PD and hoses to the PD, and we're going to try to alleviate that with the new space and have power and water with a fenced-in area right around Fire Department 2. We're hoping to be closer to Fire Department 2, so there won't be much clearing, but we are looking for around a little bit bigger of a space to house all of our equipment. And we feel the $130,000 should be enough.
Is this money you already have?
Yes, this was allocated funds for our new facility.
All right, so you just, very good. So it's just moving it from one to another, basically.
Yes.
Yes. And this doesn't require a vote by the town, it just requires a town meeting vote. Repurpose it.
Repurpose the funds, yep.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, it's not, you're not requesting any new money, it's just saying, we've got this, we want to use it for this now.
Right.
There's money left over from, we saved it.
Good for you.
DPW helped out a lot with that.
And you know how mercantile started.
I do.
Any further questions regarding Red Brook Road? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so in light of the information provided, we'll look at addressing, first, let's go to Article number 6 of the special. This is the article to rescind the borrowing authority. Like I said, we had originally voted to recommend this article when the amount was 7.5 million. It has been corrected down to 4.5 million. So we need to take a vote on the article with a new amount.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to rescind our previous vote.
I'll second that.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to rescind the vote on Article number 6 of the special warrant. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right. Rescinded, 670. All right, now Chair will entertain a motion regarding Article number 6 of the special warrant.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation that we approve Article 6 for recommendation to town warrant.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee? Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. 7-0 to recommend. All right. That brings us to Article 10 of the special warrant, which is on hold. The chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we keep the hold.
All right, we got a motion to keep the hold. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I'm just thinking
You're
about,
waiting for the number?
yeah, we can vote on it at a town meeting.
Right.
So
Yes.
I say we wait to at least then, and then if we don't have a number by then, maybe it'll be withdrawn or whatever, but at least we may have a number by town. That's what I'm thinking.
No?
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yeah,
you might want to put in a recommendation to be made at town.
that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Would you consider modifying the motion to say, to make a recommendation at town meeting?
So modified.
Second.
You're fine with that? All right, so, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote on the motion to make a recommendation on Article 10 of the special warrant at town meeting.
This is the meeting.
No, just procedurally, we're not, actually not removing the hold, we're just stating the fact that we're doing that, okay. So the hold doesn't need to be removed, we're just
Fine.
changing the
Yep.
definition, all right. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Ian, I'm a yes. 7-0.
That'll take place just before town meeting, though, the meeting.
When we have the joint meeting with the
Yeah, which is just before,
select
yeah,
board,
right.
at that time, we'll take a vote.
Okay.
All right. That will bring us to the annual town meeting warrant, Article number 7. Chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold.
I make a motion to remove the hold.
Second.
We get a motion and a second. Any discussion on removing the hold on Article number 7? Hearing none. Any opposition to removing the hold on Article number 7? Hearing none. Passed by unanimous consent. Chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article number 7.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation that we accept Article 7 and approve, recommend to the town.
Second,
We got a motion and a second to recommend Article number 7.
And the amount of money was to be?
It's 130.
130,000. Okay.
Yep.
And what I like is that it's money they saved and not borrowing any new money. It's just repurposing that money.
Yep. It's always a good thing.
Does that need to be called out, by the way? That is repurposed money. Do we have to call that out?
Well, it says it in the
it's,
article.
it's in
It
the,
says it in the article, it
It's in the
says it in
article.
the opening letter, and when we get to the explanations, we'll make sure it says it there.
Right.
And it
I
says,
just maybe had just a quick question. You mentioned for Ashley.
Yeah.
do you see it?
Power source.
Right here.
You guys will put in a power source there to get what you need as far as, so you're not running
Oh, is it?
extension cords? Yeah, sure.
Yes, water and electric will be included.
Right, okay, very good. Just
We're
making
very
sure.
happy for that. Yeah,
It's always good not to have to run extension cords, long distances, right?
yes. Safety
Yeah.
first.
Safety first, thank you.
Any further discussion on Article number 7? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 7. Greg?
Yes?
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
yes,
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, that brings us to Article number 8. That's 273,858 for the origination fee. Chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold.
I move that we remove the hold.
Second.
We get a motion and a second to remove the hold. Any discussion on removing the hold? Hearing none. Any opposition to removing the hold? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. The chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article number 8.
I move that we recommend Article 8.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion on Article number 8? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to approve, recommend Article number 8. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes,
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, that brings us to Article number 9. The chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold on Article number 9, which is the Cape Cod Regional Technical High School District budget.
I make a motion to remove the hold.
All right, I'll second his.
You got a motion and a second. Any discussion regarding removing the hold? Hearing none, any opposition to removing the hold? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. The chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article number 9.
Make a motion to recommend.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to recommend Article number 9. Any discussion?
So I went to that meeting the other night
Yep.
and watched it like from here in the audience and talked to the young lady who gave the presentation. I think that she's their financial director. Asked about the increase, because we're all interested in increases. So the increases seem to be driven by an additional students that are coming from Mashpee.
Yeah.
5 more students are coming from Mashpee, so that enrollment's up. Insurance costs have apparently gone up, and also some less state funding. So that seems to have driven that 4.38% increase from what she said.
We have 5 extra students.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was also happy when I got the answer to my question that although their expenses went up 4.38, that overall, the assessments to the towns were 2%.
Right.
As the average, yeah, so. And that's because they used their free cash, which they call efficiency/deficiency.
Right.
Any further discussion regarding Article 9? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 9. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right. That brings us down to Article number 32, which is the Christopher Lane road taking. Chair will entertain a motion to remove the hold.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to remove the hold on Article number 32. Any discussion on removing the hold? Hearing none, we'll take any opposition to removing the hold? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. The chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article number 32.
I make a motion to approve Article 32.
Second.
We get a motion and a second to recommend Article number 32. Any discussion?
Could we ask the town manager what his thoughts are on road taking in general?
You can?
On what?
Road taking is in general.
In the cost to the town?
We always need to be careful with the road takings because there is a trickle-down effect as far as the cost with DPW. I don't want to suggest that an extra road here or an extra road there is going to be a significant amount of money, but I think over the course of time, if we keep adding more and more roads, whether it be new roads or whether it be private roads that have been turned into public ways that we're now responsible for, we got to make sure that they're up to standards when we take control of them. And secondly, there will be a cost, that's the trickle-down effect over the course of time, labor cost and maintenance costs, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to suggest that those would be hitting us instantly, because I don't think that will happen, but certainly over the course of time, I don't want to sit here and suggest that there isn't an impact, because there is.
Right.
And I think the DPW director has mentioned that at public meetings in the past. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does.
Do I favor it or not favor it? I certainly want to always follow the will of the people, and if it's a petitioned article or whatever the case may be, and the folks at town meeting wish to do it, then obviously we will take that responsibility on, but I think it would be irresponsible not to suggest that there is a trickle-down effect in terms of cost. As long as we're willing to assume the cost long-term, then I guess we'll have more roads.
Thank you. Any further discussion regarding Article 32?
Yeah, Mr. Collins, excuse me, I'm sorry. Did the DPW director have any thoughts on Christopher Lane that you are aware of? Because I know in the next article, she's pretty adamant about that, apparently.
think she was favoring that because of the timing.
Got you, thank you, thank you.
Is there sewer issue here?
Yes.
Yes, this is the one, they were held off on it.
Christopher Lane.
Gotcha.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that was a big.
Yeah, this was so that it could be done at the same time as the sewer. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to recommend Article number 32. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
No.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right,
That was 5-2.
6-1.
6-1. All right. Yeah, that brings us to,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to rescind Article 33.
you just couldn't wait, huh?
Couldn't wait.
We've got a motion to rescind our vote on Article 33.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion regarding rescinding the vote, our vote on Article number 33? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to rescind our vote on Article number 33. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard? Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. The chair will now entertain a motion regarding Article number 33.
I'd like to make a motion to not recommend.
We've got a motion not to recommend Article number 33. Is there a second?
I second that.
Because we have some discussion.
We've got a motion and a second to not recommend Article number 33. Any discussion?
Well, I think it was interesting the other night, at the select board meeting, this came up, and the same memo that was read, that we have was read to the select board. And the concerns of that, I think they would like to indefinitely postpone it according to the memo, but that's up to the petitioner.
Right.
The select board voted not to recommend. So, because they can't force that off a warrant at this point.
Right, no.
It's their petition.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the petition article.
Any further discussion regarding Article number 33? Hearing none, we'll take a vote not to recommend Article number 33. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, that takes care of all the articles that we had remaining on hold. That brings us into new business. Mr. Town Manager, anything non-budget related, non-town meeting related we need to be aware of?
No, sir, you've got it.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that means we can skip over number 2 because there are no new articles. Yay. So first thing we're going to get into are the draft explanations we still need to go through.
Which one is that? This.
Yes. All right. The document is draft FinCom May 2024 warrant article explanations per executed warrant.
Excuse me. Jamie, can you turn that light on behind you? Appreciate that.
don't think it's, I don't think it's either of those.
Maybe it's over there.
Yeah, I think it may be those.
One more? Oh, and
There we go.
Let there be light.
All right, so, the first explanation to go through is for a special meeting, Article number 1, the unpaid prior year bills. This article appropriates and transfers $864.05 from revenue available to pay prior year unpaid bills. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
It's good. Yep.
I'll second your recommendation.
Oh, are we voting on every one of these?
No, I'm just looking for any edits right now.
Right.
We'll take a vote afterwards on the edited
Yeah.
explanations.
Gotcha.
All right, so long as nobody's got any edits they want to make to that, we will move on. Okay, to Article 3, the Human Resources Accrued Benefits Account. For this article seeks to refund the Human Resource and Accrued Benefits Account. This account is used to buy back sick time and vacation time from those who have been separated from employment from the town.
So get rid of that 4 in the beginning and just start the, what?
Sorry, I love it.
No, I think you're right.
Actually,
This article
I'm envious
seeks
of
to
it.
read.
How's that?
Do we,
Greg, you missed a whole thing last week.
Oh, I watched it. I watched it later.
Jeff, do we
entertaining.
need to say that there's no tax impact?
Yeah, that line will have to be put on there.
Okay.
The rest of it's fine, though. Oh, yes, good call. Town should be capitalized.
This article seeks to refund the this article seeks to refund the Human Resource Accrued Benefits Account. I'm not sure if refund is the
Yeah,
right
should it just
word.
be fund?
What's the article?
Oh, maybe,
It's Article 3 of the special.
maybe it should be replenished.
Yeah, replenish, probably, yes.
Yeah.
Replenish or reimburse. Replenish, I'm good with.
And should human resource accrued benefits account all be capitalized too? Usually
yes.
when we talk about specific accounts, they're capitalized.
Yeah, just the way it is in the article.
Yeah.
Actually, should it be who have been separated from employment with the town? They're not employed from the town, they're
Right.
employed with the town.
All right. All right. The way this reads now, this article seeks to replenish the Human Resource Accrued Benefits Account. This account is used to buy back sick time and vacation time from those who have been separated from employment with the town. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Any other edits? Well, the only thing I am going to suggest it to be in alignment with the other articles is this article appropriates and transfers funds to replenish. So this article appropriates and transfers funds to replenish the human resource accrued benefits account. This account is used to buy back sick time and vacation time from those who have been separated from employment with the town. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Is that, I mean, it's not just people who no longer work for the town that sell back their sick time, right?
No, I think it is, yes.
It would depend on their policy, I think. Would they have a policy that they don't have to do that?
Well, who would have
I think
sick and
you,
vacation time that aren't town employees?
no, I'm saying
Yeah.
you don't have to have been separated from employment to sell back your sick and vacation time. This explanation says it's for people who no longer work for the town, but I think people who still work here, I mean,
Yeah, the article doesn't say anything about people who have left employment.
people who just don't use their sick or
Yeah.
vacation time can
I see
sell
what
it
you're
back
saying,
every
yes.
year. And the
I-
explanation is saying it's only for
But
people
can
who.
they is the question.
I,
Oh, that's an
Yeah,
HR
that,
question.
yeah, that's
an HR question.
that's an HR question. But I understand your point, because, that's how it works, because I just did that where I work.
Well, that's why
So
I'm,
back
yeah,
to-
like if you don't use it, you sell it back. I know plenty of,
You have
I
the
guess I
right
don't
to
know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure I know some people who work for the town that
Well, I
sell
just-
it back.
having worked at a different place, if you didn't use it, you lost it.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
sold back, and that's why I'm saying.
Right.
it
Yeah.
could be totally
When you
different.
leave, you leave.
Yeah,
It's over.
It could be a different environment, obviously, it's a different environment from where I worked.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it, I.
Were there unions where you worked?
No,
Okay.
absolutely
This
not.
may have a lot to do with the contract.
Yeah, I think it does with the union.
But I think to the point, we don't know whether it's for when they leave or any time, so I think it.
Could we just
leaving
leave,
it-
we
leaving
could just
it-
leave that out,
Well, we can just say it's for buying back sick time and vacation time,
period.
and end it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that's what the article says.
Yeah.
The article doesn't talk about.
All right. So we're down to this article appropriates and transfers funds to replenish the human resource accrued benefits account. This account is used to buy back sick and vacation time. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Any other modifications? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next one. Article number 4. This article appropriates and transfers the sum of $1,400,000 from the wastewater stabilization fund to the temporary borrowing outside 2.5 to pay for the planning of Phase 2 of the wastewater initiative. The purpose of the transfer is to avoid borrowing money to pay for the planning, thus saving the town unnecessary interest costs. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Pretty much the same
I
as what
think-
we approved for 5
Yep.
with just the fund name changed.
I think that's fine.
All right, we'll move on to Article number 6, which is the rescinding the bond issue. This article rescinds the authority to issue the unissued balance of the bond or note which was approved at the October 16th, 2023 town meeting in the amount of, okay, that amount's gonna change. $4,500,000 for the purpose of paying for the planning and design Phase 2 wastewater initiatives. This authority is no longer needed because the Phase 2 planning and design will be funded utilizing, with the passage of Article 4 and 5 above, funds available from the wastewater stabilization fund, the wastewater infrastructure investment fund, WIF, and revenue available for appropriation. This will prevent the town from having to pay interest on any borrowed money. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Just a point of interest, why is there so many funds involved in this whole?
Because we have two separate funds associated with wastewater. One is is
wastewater
generated by part of the,
There's a stabilization fund, there's an infrastructure investment fund.
right, that was agreed at town meeting to create, reducing some of the CPA percentages, for this express purpose of funding, paying for the wastewater project.
I think you need an of, paying for the planning and design of Phase 2 wastewater initiatives.
Which line are we talking here?
Third line,
That line?
paying for the planning and design of.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
something, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Planning and design of Phase 2 wastewater initiative, all right, good.
Everything else is good.
Everybody else okay with that?
Yes.
All right, that brings us down to Article number 9, the special. This article appropriates and transfers $550,000 from the Community Preservation Fund 10% Open Space Recreation Reserve to fund the Ashumet Pond Restoration and Rehabilitation Plan. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
It's good.
All right. That there. Annual meeting articles. Article 1. This article requests to vote from the town to accept the reports of the town officers. The reports of the town officers are presented in the 2023 annual report, which is available at the town of Mashpee and Town Hall. This article has no impact on the current year tax rate. First of all, we'll put a period there for that last sentence. There.
The two goes away.
That first sentence doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First sentence is wrong.
Yeah, the two goes away. The article requests a vote from the town to accept it.
Requests, plural.
Yep.
Get rid of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of the two.
Reports of the town officers. The reports of the town officers are presented.
Should
Right.
it just be at Mashpee Town Hall?
Probably, what I'm gonna say is these reports, that way we don't need of the town officer again. These reports are presented in the 2023 annual report, capitalizing the A and the R.
Yeah.
And the town capitalization too.
Annual watch, comma after report, which is available at the town of Mashpee, that should be capital, town of Mashpee, Town Hall,
Yeah, get rid of the and.
Yeah.
because that doesn't,
Yeah, Mashpee Town Hall.
period.
yeah.
This article, it will have no impact.
So town needs to be capitalized everywhere, right?
I would think so.
I don't think for Town Hall.
But in the first sentence, this article requests a vote from the town capitalized.
Yeah.
To accept the reports of town officers capitalized?
No, I don't think in that case, because we're talking about positions, not the town itself.
Okay.
Then would it be at the town of Mashpee, the capital T on the last?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that town I did capitalize.
But not in town hall?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm not the English major.
yeah.
I have no idea. My sister was.
All right, this article requests a vote from the town to accept the reports of the town officers. These reports are presented in the 2023 annual report, which is available, how about just making it simply at Mashpee Town Hall?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's much better.
And in that case, I will capitalize the Town Hall.
And make everybody happy.
And
and
this,
then a period, and then a capital T on
right,
this.
yes, this article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Current year.
All right. Article 2, the operating budget. This article authorizes the raising, appropriating, and/or transferring of funds for the annual budget, omnibus budget for fiscal year 2025. All right, move down to article number 4. This article appropriates funds to fund the implementation and construction of Phase 2 of the town's comprehensive nitrogen and wastewater management, treatment, and disposal improvement plans. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Okay, this is Article 4. This is the big one. Yeah. Now, I don't think this one here, we can say it has no impact on the current year tax rate.
I don't think so either.
In this article, appropriate, yeah, thinking this, does this do more than just appropriate?
It's interesting.
Yes, and authorized to borrow.
Yeah.
Yes, so this article appropriates and authorizes the borrowing of funds necessary to implement and construct Phase 2 of the town's comprehensive nitrogen and wastewater management, treatment, and disposal improvement plans. And ending it there. So, this,
Do you want to say that it requires a 2/3 vote and a ballot question?
that's probably a good thing to add, yes. This article,
I mean, the select board put that in their
yeah,
explanation.
require a two-thirds vote and,
A corresponding Proposition 2.5 debt exclusion ballot
Yeah.
question?
that sounds like a good idea. All right, this article appropriates and authorizes the borrowing of funds necessary to implement and construct Phase 2, and let's see, do they, okay, they got it that way. Phase 2 of the town's comprehensive nitrogen and wastewater management, treatment, and disposal improvement plans. This article will require a 2/3 vote and a corresponding Proposition 2.5 debt exclusion ballot question at the May 11, 2024 town election. Let's see. Select board. anything else regarding this? All right, that brings us to Article number 5, to see if the town will vote to repurpose a portion of the appropriation and borrowing authorization for capital improvements previously approved for the police department HVAC and DPW roof replacement in order to fund the DPW masonry wall restoration in the amount of $80,000 and the police station design and engineering in the amount of $2,700,000. The police station design and engineering is required to determine how to proceed with major renovations needed at the station, including the HVAC system. This article will also require approval of a corresponding 2.5 debt exclusion ballot question on May 11, 2024, annual town election. I think the, let's see, this,
Shouldn't that be broken up into two sentences? First part, after DPW roof replacement, should we have a period right there? 'Cause that thing rambles on for, it's a run-on sentence.
It's long, but it's not run-on.
yeah. What I would say, this article will repurpose, this article will repurpose a portion of appropriation borrowing authorization in order to fund that. I think that after the 80,000, there needs to be a comma. Because it's more of a compound sentence than a run-on. Because there's two different parts we're talking about. In the police station design and engineering, the amount of $270,000.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think the sentence length is fine.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about, we're repurposing the money from these two things and giving it to these two things. So it needs to all be in one sentence.
Yep. And I think we just need to say that it won't have any impact on the current year tax rate.
We do on the next page.
No,
We don't.
no, it
No,
doesn't.
no,
It
we
doesn't.
say it.
Nope.
No.
Take that back.
Yeah. Now, that last two sentences talk about the vote required for this, but this will have no impact on the current year tax rate. All right. That brings us to Article number 6. This article reauthorizes and extends by 3 years the authority to use $350,000 from the Capital Stabilization Fund for the resurfacing of the Mashpee Middle High School parking lot. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. All right. Article 7. This article repurposes funds appropriated and transferred at the May 2nd, 2022 special town meeting to the FY 2023 Capital Improvement Project CIP, reappropriates and transfers it to the Department of Natural Resources FY 2025 capital account. These funds will be used to make improvements. That's okay, so that has to be changed completely. These funds will be used, let's go back to, design and construct. Design and construct.
a new boat/equipment storage yard?
You say storage area.
They've just got it as construct a yard off of Red Brook Road. Okay,
Well, but
no, I see it, I see it,
That's what she
yep.
just told us
No,
it was for, though.
Right.
Yep. Construct an exterior storage and maintenance yard. For boats off Red Brook Road. Okay. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
So we need a comma after CIP.
Okay. All right. This article repurposes funds appropriated and transferred at the May 2nd, 2022 special town meeting to the FY 2023 Capital Improvement Program CIP, comma, reappropriates and transfers to the Department of Natural Resources FY 2025 capital account. These funds will be used to design, used to design and construct an exterior storage and maintenance yard for boats off Red Brook Road. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. All right. Article number 8. To see if the town will vote to appropriate and transfer the sum of $273,858 from revenue available for appropriation to the loan origination fee account. One-time loan origination fees are expected to be expended in FY 2025 for the $54 million state revolving fund loans being used for Phase 1 of the town's comprehensive wastewater management, treatment, and disposal improvement plan. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
That's good.
This article appropriates and transfers. That sum from revenue available for appropriation to the loan origination account. I think everything else sounds appropriate.
Yep.
All right. That will bring us down to Article 12. This article appropriates and transfers $250,000 from revenue for appropriation to be transferred to the Special Injury Leave Indemnity Fund. I think you need to find out how those capitalized. No, they're not, all right. Fund in accordance with the provision of General Law, Chapter 41, Section 111F. This law states that whenever a police officer or a firefighter is incapacitated?
Yeah, incapacitated.
Incapacitated.
Because of injury in the performance of his/hers duties without fault of his or her own, he or she is granted to leave without loss of pay for a period of such incapacity. This period, capital T, this article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. The only thing I'm wondering is, should we put the words injured on duty fund in there?
Yes, probably.
As opposed to because of injury in performance of his duties?
Right.
Well, the way it is in the article, it's got the injury leave indemnity fund, in parentheses, injured on duty fund.
Oh,
Say that again?
Well, in the article, it states that it's the special injury leave indemnity fund, comma, parentheses, injured on duty fund.
Yes.
So that's, I just think, to be somewhat consistent, I would put that in there.
Not to be super woke or anything, but you might want to change it to their, THEIR, in all instances, instead of his or hers.
All right,
that's a good point.
can do that.
What? Don't laugh at me, Glenn.
No,
Huh?
I think it's a very valid point.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and it cuts down on words.
Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah, so then he or she could just be they.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it should be an R. They are. Let's see. Because of injury and performance of their duties
Without fault of their own, comma, right?
Yeah, okay, their own. They
They
are
are granted
granted leave,
no to.
right, without
Without
loss of pay for a period of such incapacity. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
And you put a period and a capital T there,
Yep.
right?
All right, Article 13. This article creates and funds a new full-time wastewater executive assistant position within the Department of Wastewater Management. This position will be responsible for performing advanced administrative, technical, inspection, and investigative work related to operating the town's wastewater resource recovery facility, WRRF. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Is it wastewater or just water? Because written here, it just says the town's water resource recovery facility.
I think it's supposed to be wastewater, though.
13.
That's where they're working, is at the wastewater plant.
Yeah, in the article
No, in the
itself,
article, it
it's
says
wastewater.
water
Well,
resource.
yeah.
Is the person's title going to be going to be?
No, the title is wastewater executive assistant.
Yes, that's what I'm
But it's about operating the town's water resource recovery facility.
That's the plant.
Yes.
The plant is not called wastewater
I don't know
anything,
what
it's
it's called.
just called
They'll probably give
water.
it a name at some point.
It's water resource.
Johnny,
So to be in alignment with what the article says.
Yeah,
We'll just leave it at water recovery. Water resource recovery. All right, now we'll move on. That brings us down to number 17. This article creates a permanent full-time police officer position within the Mashpee Police Department. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. I think it creates and funds. Funds a permanent full-time police officer position within the Mashpee Police Department. All right, that brings us to Article 19. This article appropriates $636,113 for budgeted costs associated with providing public, educational, and government PEG access to various cable TV channels available through the town, including schools. The amount is based on anticipated expenditures for the PEG and cable-related fund for the coming fiscal year and is required by the Mass Department of Revenue. Note, the amount appropriated comes from the franchise fees from Comcast. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Looks good to me.
All right. Anybody else?
Looks good.
All right. Down to 20. This article authorizes the expenditure of the specified amounts for the 4 revolving funds shown in the table for FY 2025. The amounts represent costs associated with programs offered by these 4 town entities. These expenses are subject to receipt of corresponding levels of program revenue that offset the expense. If program revenues are inadequate, the expenditures will not be incurred. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Move on. This is to Article 24. This article continues the participation in the Community Septic Management Program and the Massachusetts Waste Pollution Abatement Trust, MWPAT, for the purpose of making loans to residents of the town for repairing and/or the upgrading of residential septic systems.
I think you can get rid of the repairing and/or upgrading residential.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Then we don't need the of. And this article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. I'm just gonna move that to the end of the first paragraph. Don't need 2 paragraphs for that. All right. Article 26. An enterprise fund is considered the best practice to promote and maintain long-term financial sustainability of water, sewer, and stormwater activities. An enterprise fund is a separate accounting and financial reporting mechanism for which revenues and expenditures are segregated into a fund with financial statements separate from all other governmental activities. Your enterprise fund identifies the total direct and indirect costs to provide the service and the sources and amounts of revenues that support the service for which a fee is charged in exchange for service.
I mean, that's a good
Definition
explanation of what an enterprise fund is, but it's,
doesn't address
we
what
need
the
to
article
tie it
does.
into the actual article. So we could just start with the sentence, this article will, hold on.
This
Hold on,
article,
let me find the article.
Page 26. This article,
This article will establish the Department of Wastewater Management as an
As
enterprise
an
fund,
enterprise fund.
yeah.
which will allow the Department of Wastewater Management to operate as a self-sufficient, self-funded operation. Do that.
That says it all.
Great summary.
But I think it's good, I think it's good to have what's
I
there.
like the definition.
I like the
definitely-
explanation
you're
of
right.
it, especially
Yeah.
if,
No,
like, some,
Because people are going to ask, what's an enterprise fund?
Right.
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 No, I just think that lead-in sentence is,
So,
will explain.
so
The rest
can
of
you,
it's
can you
right.
give me that sentence again, Greg?
This article will establish, what did you say?
This article will establish a Department of Wastewater Management as an enterprise fund, which will allow the Department of Wastewater Management to operate as a self-sufficient, self-funded operation. An enterprise fund, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Without that, it's Greek. I mean, it doesn't, it's a lovely sentence, lovely paragraph, but it doesn't,
It doesn't say anything.
no.
Right. But there will be people who ask, what's an enterprise? Why are they doing an enterprise fund?
What is that, the newspaper?
Right.
It looks like they were establishing an enterprise fund. It's a new fund.
We are.
We are.
One of the things, though, that might be added is that the costs of this are offset by revenues generated by user rates and service fees,
Sounds good.
which is actually in the explanation that the select board put in.
I got you.
But it just seemed that it would be good for people to
Reiterate that.
know
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
offset.
Utility. Funded. Entity.
Oh,
Bless
bless
you.
you.
Excuse me.
That woke up
That
the
was
viewers.
aggressive.
Yeah, that certainly woke me up.
This article will establish the Department of Wastewater Management as an enterprise fund. This will allow the department to operate a public utility as a self-sufficient, self-funding entity. And, let's see. And we're talking about, let's see. As such. Revenues. Revenues. Okay.
All costs
All
related
costs.
to the.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
such, all costs related to operation will be offset by revenue generated. Generated by user
Rates and
rates
service
and
fees.
service fees.
Sounds like it's gonna be a sewer tax.
All right. Then we can go with what's there, and at the end will be, this will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Good with that. Article 27, this article amends Chapter 150, Streets and Sidewalks of the Town of Mashpee General Bylaws. This amendment makes property owners responsible for managing the water runoff from their property, particularly in areas prone to creating safety hazards such as freezing and flooding of the public ways the runoff flows into. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
The runoff flows into is at the end is. Needs to be moved.
Yeah, I think you can just take out the runoff flows into,
Yeah, I think so.
and the sentence after public ways.
All right,
Public ways, yes.
all right. All right, brings us down, Article 31. This article authorizes the town to enter into a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with the state to permit the school department to submit claims for reimbursement of the transportation expenses incurred by the school department for transporting students in foster care. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate. Don't think authorizes needs to be capitalized.
I don't think authorizes has to be capitalized there.
That's what you said.
I think reimbursement of the transportation expense, I think you can get rid of the, for reimbursement of transportation expenses incurred.
I think you can get rid of school department in that sentence too,
Okay,
because it's the school department is trying to get reimbursed. It's
Okay.
obviously them that are
okay, I
incurring.
think, so incurred, get rid of everything by the school department. Incurred for transporting students in foster care.
Yep.
So now, this article authorizes the town to enter into a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with the state to permit the school department to submit claims for reimbursement of transportation expenses incurred for transporting students in foster care.
Yes.
This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
Yep, that's great.
Article 32. This article authorizes the select board to accept the layout and complete the private to public road conversion of Christopher Lane. It also authorizes the select board to raise and appropriate the funds necessary to complete this project and to assess betterments to the owners of the land abutting the Christopher Lane roadways. This article will have no impact on the current year tax rate.
There is an amount in there of 120,220. Do we need to have that in there? Or maybe not?
Not necessarily in the
Okay,
explanation.
okay.
Yeah, I left it out because it states in there that they're gonna recoup the funds by
Right.
assessing betterment.
All right, that goes through all of those. The chair will now entertain a motion to accept the explanations as edited.
Motion to accept as edited.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard? Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, so those will be edited and taken care of. Next thing is the edited opening letter. I just have that, there it is.
Supposed to be able to find that.
Are gonna have to make an edit to part of it, where it points out Article 7 of the annual warrant, which is the repurposing of the CIP funds. Those should be capitalized, by the way. That, I've gotta update that to be similar to what we just
Yeah.
put in the explanation.
The boatyard.
Right.
Oh, the boatyard.
Yeah. But if there are any other edits anybody feel need to be made,
I thought it looked real good.
and I thank go to
Should
Jamie
that
for that.
sentence, should that sentence at the top say, there are 10 articles in the special town meeting warrant. One of these is to clean up matters pertaining to fiscal year 2023, which ends June 30th. I had sent an email saying, well, first I thought that it ended.
Fiscal year is based on the year it ends, which fiscal year '23 ends in '23.
Right. But should that say which ends, or should it say which ended? Because that has already taken place.
All right, I can see that.
Yes.
That was my only other.
I think ends would be okay, but ended is better, and ends would be okay only because you're saying fiscal year 2023 ends June 30th. I mean, I think it could be almost either way, but ended is better, more clear.
Because it's in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else looked great, Jeff. Thank
Yeah.
you for all your hard work on this.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else people feel need to be added, any other articles that need to be pointed out that, other than those that I already listed?
No, I think you picked good ones.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so, the chair will now entertain a motion to accept the opening letter, with the revisions.
Motion to accept with the revisions.
And you're going to fix the boatyard one?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Second.
All right, we'll take, any discussion? Here now, we'll take a vote to accept this with revisions. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right. Next thing is the packet of charts, tables, graphs. These are exactly the way they will go in the order they will go.
And they updated they answered all your questions
Yes, they
about
did.
the.
I got those this morning to finish the tax rates and things like that, and there was one thing I missed with regard to the free cash table, which is the very last one. Missed an article entirely. No, this was the last one. The summary of revenue from free cash.
Oh, I see a typo on the fiscal year 2025 revenue versus budgeted appropriation. This one?
Okay.
It says revenue instead of revenue.
That happens. Easy.
Thank you. That's nothing, the earlier version had receipts spelled wrong too, so. I think I forgot the T. So I can take some time to look through those. I actually was glad somebody suggested, I had public comment about adding the free cash summary.
Yeah, yeah.
That was actually a really good idea.
You do a great job on this.
You really do. This is a lot of work.
Spreadsheets are wonderful.
They're great, aren't they? I love Excel.
The chair will entertain a motion to accept the revised packet of charts and tables.
Second,
Any discussion?
thank you for your hard work.
You're welcome.
That's Mr. Resistance.
We'll take a vote. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Last item, the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the chair to make all final edits in, of the Finance Committee report for publication.
Second,
Any discussion?
Third.
Sold.
Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Greg?
Yes.
Glenn?
Yes.
Richard? Darlene? Lee?
Yes.
Jamie?
yes.
And I'm a yes, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
So do we get a break next week?
Yep.
We've got a week off. We'll come back April 4th
Yes.
for our next meeting, and then we won't have another meeting unless something comes up until the joint meeting with the select board before town meeting.
Which is,
May
May
6th.
6th.
okay, so I'm out of the country from like the last week and a half of April, but shouldn't be an issue.
Yep. Yep.
Thank
And
you.
we'll have that, and I think, I can't remember whether it's that week or the week after, we'll have one more meeting in May, in which we'll transact some final business. All right, thank you all for all your work.
Thank you
On
for
doing
your
this.
work.
You for all your work.
Now,
Yeah.
none of this is a one-person job, so thank you all for everything and all the questions raised to make sure that we understand what we're recommending to the people. So, thank you all, and I will get these edits done and to Terry tomorrow so she can send it off to the printer.
You have to have these done by tomorrow morning?
Sometime tomorrow.
Can I ask a question?
Yep,
Is this executed now? Can we refer to it?
it is executed, yes.
Can I refer to it as
Yes.
executed when I do the minutes?
Yes. Yeah, because I said we were looking at the executed warrant.
Okay.
Everything lines up with that now. All right? Chair, again, we will meet next on April 4th. Don't know whether we'll be in this room or not because we no longer have to be televised. All right? The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second,
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Is there any opposition to adjourning? Hearing none, passed by unanimous consent. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.